yesterday was a very interesting day. I found myself at one of the lower ends of, I want to say, like my emotions or what I'm feeling. I did just finish my period, so of course, like with that comes a lot of hormonal changes, a lot of, you know, this goes up, this goes down, and as a result you're left feeling a bunch of different things, right? So I have had my periods for years now, decades, and I want to say up until a few months ago, I never quite felt them or fully experienced them. I want to say because my body was so dysregulated, it didn't know if it was safe or not. I was disconnected from it very much. And as a result, I never quite felt a lot of what everyone else would say they felt. So like cramping, the emotional roller coaster, the wanting to eat something specific. I never like it was kind of like a normal day, a period day, we're kind of the same. Like I don't know what's happening, but I know something's happening. And of course, when you're like severely dysregulated, you're not going to have the option to sort of, I guess, realize, notice, feel, right? Because if my body is still like very much like, I don't know if we're safe or not, then I think it's going to preserve and shut down and try to protect myself as best as it can from, I guess, things that used to feel were threats, right? Which of course are no longer threats. But I feel like your body takes a while to understand these things, and even if mentally, intellectually it knows, right, that you're safe, it can take a while before your body is actually going to, first of all, receive that message, and second of all, listen to it, right? Because when your body has been through stress for years, for decades, I think like anything else, right? Imagine if somebody was attacking a younger sibling or some, you know, a little pet, someone that you are supposed to take care of, right? You are, even after the threat is going to go away, you're still going to be looking for it. You're still going to be making sure this is never going to happen again. And your body does the same thing when you've been exposed to abuse, trauma, neglect. I think especially during those fundamental years, right? Which I have experienced. And so yesterday, when I say the lower, it was intense. And I've noticed this as well with every period. It seems like, I don't know if my body knows now that we're safe, because I feel like the more and more you understand, and once your body understands, and once, right, it's cleared, and once we fully, right, embrace, and once we embody this massive change, it's like, I think the safer and safer you become, I feel like your body is like, okay, because the past few periods I had were very, very intense. I'm talking super intense. Like emotions were coming up, and I was just like, I don't know why I feel this way, right? But I'm going to allow it, of course. I'm going to accept it, of course. I'm going to give it space. I'm not going to try and bury it or suppress it. No. It just seems like, and I don't even want to mention it, but it was so intense. Like the way I was phrasing things and like thinking and talking. And as soon as that period was over, it's like, oh, okay, I think that's what it was. I think, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know if this super intense is what's normal, but of course, like my upbringing, my background, everything that I have gone through was super intense. And I feel like my body, of course, like my mind is like, we're not safe enough to experience or feel, or right? So it kind of kept everything at bay, because I feel like your body knows what you can handle. There's a reason why you start to faint when you those crazy roller coaster rides, right? The slingshot thing. There's a reason why some of those individuals will faint, because their body has no idea if they can handle this. So we're going to take care of you. We're going to faint and just, right? And then you're going to wake up and it's not going to happen anymore. We're going to wait till you're safe again, and then we're going to wake you up. I feel like your body knows what you can handle, and it's always just doing its best to protect you. It's crazy how beautiful your body does its best to protect you. So beautiful. And so I say all of this because, I don't know, like 3 or 4 periods now where really intense emotions will come up, and I will give it space and I will allow it. And of course, like, whatever you want to feel, whatever needs to be heard, whatever needs to be felt, right? Maybe when I was super tiny, we didn't have that option, but we do now. And so I feel like the more and safe, especially once your body understands, right? I think the more intense stuff is going to come up. You can go. And I think that's what's been happening to me these past few times, where it's like these really intense, like it's, so yesterday I woke up and I was just crying. The day before that I woke up and I was just crying. I want to say most of this week, right, today's Friday, most of this week it was just like woke up crying, right, and super like self-pity, super victimization, all these really intense feelings and things came up. And I want to say, like, a lot of it was from my childhood. A lot of the things I was saying, I can see the younger version of me saying these things and crying and thinking, like, right, like, why did no one protect me? X, Y, and Z. I gotta be careful because I'm driving. But I'm trying to give you, and I'm sure you can imagine, right, really intense. The sort of stuff that you don't tell people because it's so intense. And again, I was on my period, so I know all these are more like amplified. Not even amplified. I just feel like it was given a place, like a stage, and we're gonna put the light on you, and like this is the focus right now, right? It wasn't felt when it should have been, quote unquote, it should have been felt. No one tended to that side or those, all that pain. No one, right? Because whenever you're a child and you're hurt, right, and you go to an adult, traditionally the adult hopefully tends to you. What's wrong? Is everything okay? What can I do? Right? It's okay. You're gonna get through this. That's how, right? When you're raising a healthy individual, a healthy child, that's kind of how you know, right? It's gonna pass. Don't worry. It's okay. X, Y, and Z. Except no one did all of that for me, especially when these really intense things were happening. So it had to have gone somewhere, right? Let's see. And so now that I feel like my body is safe and it's starting to truly, right, those days when I went to Taco Bell, crispy chicken nuggets, when I went to get that purse that was a short, those 2 days I was just so happy. Like, you couldn't even, like, it was, everything that had happened to me wasn't even there because I was so present. I was so present. I was just so happy. And I feel like now that we're getting more safer and my body's starting to understand, like, oh, okay, I think we, like, it's okay, you know, especially with the periods, these things are going to come up, and feel it, give it space, don't suppress it. And so the most important thing I've noticed, and again, this is a 3rd or 4th period where this sort of thing had happened, and so the previous times this had happened, I did not have the awareness or ability to sort of snap myself out of it, right? And victimization is so slippery. Like, it's just there, and you can easily spend time. It's so easy, right? If you've gone through trauma, abuse, neglect, etc., right? If people were supposed to protect you and they did it and they're the ones that hurt you, you're gonna feel a certain way. When you see other individuals who had all this proper, right, love in the household, safety, and you sort of start to, right, you might start to wonder, like, I wonder how I would have came out had I been loved, protected, provided safety all those years, right? And it's so, I say slippery, I think that's what I said, because it's just right there, even appetizing. Why not? Especially when you're period and the emotions are heightened. And it's fine if that's how you want to spend your time. I've spent my time like that a few days. I don't know, like, where in the past it's like, yeah, cry and think about it and feel it, and yeah, because a part of you that's angry needs to be felt, needs to be heard, needs to have a position to right, where's my attention, right? That's, I'm pretty sure what it's saying. And so yesterday was the first day where I found myself starting to cry. I found myself with these thoughts, right? Why me? Why this? Why? But I had already spent a few days like that, right? And yesterday, before when it happened, I don't think I was in a position, or I had the option. It wasn't there. I was so flooded with emotion, and I was so flooded. I don't know the better word for victimhood or victimization, but I was so flooded, right, in that anger. Because when you're angry, there's a reason for it, right? And life isn't fair, and you do have to embrace that. And it does suck what happened to you. And again, when it first started happening, I was so flooded that I wasn't even like in a position to choose. Like, hey, I don't like this, right? I was just flooded, angry, crying, emotions. But yesterday, it almost felt like I had the choice for the first time. And I don't know if that's because I allowed myself to feel it the previous days. Who knows if the period was ending and that's just the way the world turns. But yesterday, it could have gone two ways. I could have stayed in, cried, stayed in, cried like I'd done the previous days. And again, it wasn't like I had this option the other days or the other months. It was like it was just in front of me. And it was so difficult because, again, why am I having to pick myself up from this depth, right, that I've done so many times? And if, the individuals who were responsible for me did what they were supposed to, or did the bare minimum, right, then I wouldn't be subjected to all of this. And so part of it is releasing, right? Like, okay, it happened, right? I can't go back and change anything. I can't go back and even, like, so when these emotions come up, it's almost like I can see the smaller version of Pauline in front of me, and I can finally be the one to tell her, like, it's okay, right? And so yesterday was really interesting because, and I tried making a video yesterday, but I had cried so much and my eyes were so irritated, and when I tried making it, and I had the wherewithal to understand and release and be like, okay, it's not happening today, it's fine. I think my pride or my ego was like, oh, but I want to capture, like, the intensity, how my eyes look. Like, they were kind of like partially red because so much crying and so much pain and so much X, Y, and Z. But no, it didn't happen. And I really wanted to share. I feel like you do have to be gentle with yourself, and I feel like you have to feel whatever needs to be felt. I'm certain that if I didn't allow myself to feel those previous days, I don't think yesterday would have happened. And by feeling and giving all that space and, allowing it to be felt and to be heard, when initially and previously it should have, but it wasn't, but now it's okay, I got you now. It's like I was able to have that option of, like, I don't want to cry today. I don't want to, I don't. And it was so difficult. And it wasn't like a snap. It wasn't like I had the energy. It was like, while I felt this low and while I feel this emotional, while I feel this bad, I somehow have to, get up and get dressed and so I called it just like willing myself out of it. I had to will myself out of it. It didn't come natural. It wasn't what I wanted to do. It wasn't like, it was just like, but mentally, like, I kind of felt like I was able to choose, and it was really difficult. It was really difficult, like okay, like almost like Sarah Connor in Terminator 1 when she's yelling at Reese, right? On your feet, soldier, right? On your feet. That was such an intense scene, but so it felt like I literally had to like let's go, come on. And so yesterday ended up being a really nice day. And when I woke up today, I did feel like a huge difference. Like, I felt like I had more energy. I felt like but I don't know. All I know is that what I experienced was really intense. And it seems like really dark, heavy things that I think, should have been addressed before. I don't think my body allowed it, or but now that it's okay and it has the signal of like, it's fine, it's, you're safe, right? Like, I felt it. But so I feel like ultimately you're gonna have to understand and sort of feel. But if you're questioning, what am I supposed to do? Like, the answer is always just feel it out. Just feel it out. Okay? If you're angry, be angry. If you're sad, be sad. Right? It's almost like a blessing that it even arose after all these years. And I mentioned like how things are stored in your body, and how when I went out to eat by myself at the restaurants, even though mentally I feel fantastic and I'm no longer stuttering, I can make eye contact, I can be, I'm over the social anxiety. It's like the body, sometimes I will still shake. My body will still, even though up here we're fantastic, but my body hasn't quite got the message that going out and being around others, like, it's okay, we're safe. And I think whenever things present themselves, these emotions, these intense, I think that is the time where everything starts to heal. I think that is the crucial moment. Like, how exactly did you go from this to that? Because I'm doing the exact same thing I did with my social anxiety to all this other stuff. I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm being gentle with myself, being honest with myself, right? Because if you're so emotional that you can't get up and do anything, that's fine, that's okay, allow it, it's fine, it's okay, right? And of course everyone's different, and everyone has to sort of understand. And if things aren't pleasant, and you know, right, like, say this is the 10th time this emotion has came up, but every time it comes up, you distract yourself and you go somewhere else, which is fine, right? Which is totally fine. But I'm just saying, yesterday I was given the option of, do you want to will yourself out of this and I saw it and I took it because I felt super confident. And again, everything goes back to evidence. You need to give yourself evidence. If you fall down 10 times and you pick yourself up 10 times, your body is going to know, I'm safe with her. I'm safe with this person. I'm safe. She's got me. So next time I fall, I'm good, right? And even though, right, maybe our parents should have taught us and been the role model of what exactly does that look like. So when I get knocked down, even if they're the ones knocking you down, I know how to pick myself back up. And sometimes, right, sometimes we're not fortunate, and even though no one showed us, even though no one told us, even though it should have been, we're doing it now. And I can say that because it's like, it's true. So be there for yourself. Get the evidence you need to know that you got yourself, you got your back. You can do this. It's okay. Even if it's a billion times you've been knocked down, you haven't picked, it's okay. Because every single time that it happens and it comes up, you're given an opportunity. But again, I'm all for being gentle with yourself too. So if it's not the time, don't push it. Because I think equally, I don't believe in pushing people prior to them being ready. I don't believe in that either. I really don't. If it's not happening today, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So emotional. I'm at the movies. You're awesome. Be proud of yourself. I love you. And until next time.